we're here with Andrea Ometto, Director of Asset Management and Finance from Sonae Sierra, taking care of Italy and Greece. Welcome, Andrea. Nice to see you here.
Nice to meet you too.
I would like to know a little bit more about your background, Sonae Sierra's background, so we can start the interview and see a little bit more about you and knowing.
Thank you. I'm in Sonae Sierra since 2006. So it's basically almost 20 years next year. Before I was part of a developer of a fund, UK fund for offices. So I moved basically to Sierra for retail at the beginning, and I was mainly in the development. I was developing actually in Italy a few shopping centers. And from development, I moved in 2010 almost to asset management. And then I was taking over finance 2017 in Italy. And thereafter, since 2021, I'm also involved in Greece. Sierra is I would say, international integrated vertical player for, I would say, as a property company. We are working in different asset classes, mainly retail, but not only, because a big branch of our assets, 30% of the assets under management, basically are not retail. So we take care of student housing, we take care of offices, we take care of different asset classes. We are also now, just a few months ago, was done a fund with PGM for hotels in Portugal. We set up also different vehicles in Spain, so semi-listed vehicles for different kind of products, mixed asset, let me say. Also grocery. We made a fund also in Germany for grocery. So we are, I would say, a player that is diversifying more and more business and asset classes. Sierra is also not only an investor, but is a property company and also an operator. We provide services to third parties. So to important owners for property management, for design. We have also a special company, REFI, that is doing design services. And we are basically an integrated vertical player, doing everything from the beginning till the end of the process for real estate. And I think that's very important to disclose.
Talking about commercial assets, right? When it comes to repurposing the new product trends, how you're looking at that? Only taking in consideration commercial assets.
Okay. First of all, when we speak about repurposing assets, okay, you're asking me about commercial assets, but I would open a little bit more, if I may. What we are trying to do is not only to adapt these assets to the context, but also to try to unlock value that is economical, social, environmental, okay? And we are trying to build multifunctional, inclusive assets where people can live, can work, and can connect. Once we go deeper in the commercial, in the retail, I would say that more and more the trends nowadays are about the digitalisation. AI, of course, is, I would say, game-changing in this and is really supportive. We are also seeing a big driver that is the green agenda, sustainability. And for Sierra, since the beginning, we've been in our heart moving and playing with sustainability. We are measuring since 2003 or 2006 consumptions, water, electricity, and that kind of things. And the other thing I see also, especially in retail and commercial shopping center, is about providing more services, providing different experiences, providing, I would say, seamless multi-channel experience to the customers. After COVID, we saw also a big growth about food courts, food and beverage, and we are adapting, we are repurposing some assets, I would say, but also keeping up to date, you know, and keeping, I would say, with a future-proof approach our assets. And I would say that is the main important point for us as an operator in order to try to extract the maximum value from the products that are shopping centers. As repurposing, for example, is worth to say that in Portugal we were acquiring a couple of years ago building what was before a shopping center, and we are now repurposing this asset into living. It would be basically 40 premium living apartments. So we can say that repurposing really changing the uses also of the asset. Sure. And adapting in the context of the local demand, the micro location, what is the best use of that property.
How about the market, Italian market, retail market, and commercial market? What is the direction that we're seeing in the long term? So how you see the commercial asset, specific retail, it's your main focus right now. When you're saying seeing like in 5-10 years, how do you think the market?
Well, retail was for a while suffering. I think was for me also over-penalized. Now, since last year, before of last year, we have seen investors coming to shopping malls in Italy, but also south of Italy, that before was maybe more out of the radar. We saw strong fundamentals. Cash flow is there. This is an asset that has been resilient. You saw COVID. After COVID, the e-commerce has been suffering a little bit. In Italy in particular, because penetration is amongst the lowest in Europe and much below north of Europe. So we've been seeing fundamentals in this kind of products that I think are really there and future-proof for investors. Retail is here to stay. The experience, as I said, needs to be a seamless multi-channel experience to drive them. I see this as an asset class and also for mixed-use products or projects is the core, is the heart of these projects, is the social hub, is the one connecting, for example, offices and living. Because if you have offices and living, then the retail is supporting the office and living as well. Then since you have, we'll say, retail, you can have offices and living. So these activities are complementary each other. And both of them create value to them together. So we need to see to the mix and to provide the best operators to match the living, also the hotel, the retail, the living in the sense of co-living, service apartments, because there are different kind of declinations, student housing as well. What I want to say is that it's important in the retail, but our asset class is more and more the operator with whom you are partnering as an investor, I would say. So let's focus on that. Real estate is not anymore, I would say, a shielded asset class from operational risk. On the other side, I would say that this is also the opportunity, because once you are an investor, you not only have to see to the entry point when you start an investment, but the real value is on the operation of the asset, the way you are able to get the value of a medium and long term. And in Italy, I see that there are fundamentals, we have a good environment. We have not the densities of shopping malls that there are abroad. Of course, I think it's more worth to consider invested property, operating properties, but with proper mix, proper player and partner, the retail asset class, I think, is here to stay, and there is no doubt will be a fundamental one.
You spoke about office, resi, hospitality, mixed with the retail asset. And now taking out retail, what do you think will be the main asset or the trend that we're going to have in the long term? If you
It's very difficult to answer with such a long focus. Well, in Italy, we have asset class that have been historically very high in terms of transaction volume, that is offices. We have, but maybe cycling a little bit now, but still coming back to the radar. We see logistics that are growing a lot since some years. We saw last month, but we see also hotels that are growing a lot. There is, of course, for hotels in Italy that are much fragmented properties of families normally holding them. Residential is not having much weight in terms of transaction, because in Italy normally families are owners of residential assets. We don't have, as Germany, investor holding residential properties, but in Italy people really, like in also Spain, other countries, are mainly owners of apartments. But I think in resi, since we speak about residential market in Italy is worth more than 100 billion transactions, I think is a potential market that can be very important to come in the future. There are changes to be done, there are approaches to be changed, regulatory amendments required, but I think it's a big opportunity for the future. No, clearly there are some taxes issues with residential we saw, but I think it's very important as a class to come. For us in Sierra, we are also now looking to residential in Italy, mainly to build to sell. In other countries, we're starting also to see build to rent. And for us, residential is a very important as a class. We are very keen to consider. We are looking to Milan, but major city, let me say. But residential, like hotel, like retail, I think are very important for us to stay in the future. And the Italian market, I think, can grow. It could grow also more, I would say, if we would have a listed market that is more liquid, more industrial, where there is a much easier passporting of abroad rates, investing in Italy. There are some changes, I think, to be done that could be helping a lot the Italian market. But I have a view that this is a market that is important in Italy. Of course, transactions in Italy were last year overall 10 billion. It is just 4% of European volume. But for that reason, also there is we're going to grow more. It's a country that I think has been stable, less volatile of ours. So there are pros and cons of this. But it's an opportunity, I would say, if we may consider. And if now we are approaching a season where interest rates will lower a little bit, of course, we'll never come back to the zero or whatever what was a few years ago, but will be helping a lot because, of course, real estate is a pro-cycle with the interest rates and the reductions. Then we have also the inflation that is under control now. Let's see now this turmoil that we are now looking this last month, but I think probably will be hopefully only a couple of quarters with some weakened market volumes. But I really think we have a moderate positive approach for the future recovery of the real estate market.
My next question would be as Sonae Sierra, right? What are the strategy that you guys are using to invest right now? Which assets? It's retail still your main or the star of your investments, or you are looking also to other assets? I know that you have already talked a little bit about it, but just to understand what is Sonae Sierra looking right now.
Well, we are looking, in this moment we are very focused on retail, shopping malls, because it is probably the moment to invest. And there is a good opportunity because, as I said, the fundamentals are there, it's a resilient product, and the good opportunity of entry price, it is good now. That's for us really focus. Then, as I said, residential, build to sell, also hotels. We are starting from there in Portugal. We were fine with PG, but also grocery. Grocery has been during COVID and always an essential asset, and so we think it's still very interesting. There is a lot of competition on that, of course, but these are the main asset classes we are looking into, products, and we are diversifying more and more, as I said, our investments, because retail is not 67% almost of our investment that we have. So asset under management we are building are more and more open and diverse, and we are also trying to operate in different kind of asset classes, because in the future also we are interested to do that for residential, for build to rent, for example. Could be an opportunity, you know. So we need, of course, to learn a little bit. We will start also with that, but we are trying to extend that. Me personally, I'm really thinking that to be an operator would be an advantage also once you are going to partner with investors, because operators are the one in the end able to get value from operation. Is the one having the expertise, the track record, the knowledge that can really provide the advantage, the value, to have best-in-class professionals to deliver, I would say, future-proof investments without caps.
Talking about a bit of urban regeneration, right? All this movement, all the changes that we are seeing, how are you seeing the opportunities? How players are navigating inside these opportunities? And what are the challenges that you see right now on these kind of changes or new kind of profit?
Well, about urban regeneration, I think we assist to the move from a single-use asset to a mixed-use assets more and more. And of course, to mix retail, offices, residential, hotels, is, in the end, providing much more resilient mix and product. So I think there is a lot of value there. There are many areas in the cities that can be recovered because are underutilized, or maybe there are some buildings that are obsolescent, offices or whatever. And there are also situations where there are former train stations, areas that must be recovered, or areas in the cities that are an opportunity. Of course, if it is central areas, is a one show. If the suburban is more complicated, because of course accessibility is fundamental for this kind of mixed-use projects. So to have metro connections is really, really important matter. But I would say that it's very difficult to develop this kind of projects. You need to have a public-private partnership very strong. So a local government that is really open to work with you in the long run. There are many regulatory difficult permitting matters that are very difficult to solve, very fragmented, because sometimes at the regional level, local level, and that's, I think, the biggest we have. Timing is very also complicated, so there are many challenges, I would say. Construction costs are growing since years. Now inflation is a bit more, I would say, losing momentum, fortunately. But now with tariff on steel, for example, let's see what's going to happen, but construction costs are very important. So, you need to have projects that are providing a good return, a good capital value for investors to consider,
Sure.
And so to mix all together, we have many ESG or local communities requirements in terms of what are the expectation for this project as well. So we need to engage with local demand to do the proper product, So the micro-location is fundamental. The catchment is as well the main topic to see. So I think here the difficulty is to put all these kind of things together to find the best operator for the hotel, for the offices, for the living, for the retail, and to work with all of them to provide the best future-proof investment and product, let me say. So there are opportunities, but risk as well. Challenges are there. Also, tax-wise, there are many of them as well. And I would say in Italy, we need to simplify what is the regulatory government that is critical, and as will be critical by public-private partnership. I think these are the two topics that are most important to tackle with.
For the ones who are coming into Italy, right? New investors, new people, what are the main challenge that you think they will have? And also, what will be the advice that you should give to them?
I would say that better advice is to find a local partner, somebody that is there, has experience, has track record. It can be with you, your real local partner, can drive you through the difficulties, but also the opportunities that there are in Italy. There are many in different classes. And I think also the local partner can help you to structure any kind of investment vehicle, any kind of asset return you want to have, according to your core plus value added return that you are targeting. So there are different kinds of solutions that are available. In Italy, it's not easy. The legal framework, I would say tax regulation framework as well, but there are always solutions that are really easy to share. Of course, you need to have somebody else in Italy you need to trust. And also a part with some skin in the game, I think can be a game changer for somebody looking to Italy. So I think this is really pretty enough to consider and to come.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you to you. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.